And therefore they do away with the whole benefit of it being private. They don't understand the difference. That's what they did to Costco. They took it from a PMA that was done right to a PMA corporation to a C Corp. So they just screwed it up worse and worse and worse as time went on. You can't Google PMA and come up with good information. Let somebody who's done lots of them do it. Or somebody who's trained somebody to do them who's done lots of them. Okay? Pay to have yours done. Learn from the experience of getting it done and doing it and understanding it. And then, if you want to help others do PMAs, set up your PMA, another PMA to do that business. And then go help your fellow human beings do something that benefits them and gets them out of the state control. There is a lot of ways to make money for us helping each other. And everybody can choose their role. I don't tell anybody what to do. They all choose it for themselves. I say, what part would you like to play? See, there are people in this movement, AFSANs in this movement, this is important to say, who are good business people. And they own lots of businesses. And lots of businesses, they don't have any time. They want to help get their paperwork done, get their businesses right, and focus on the business that they're in. They don't have time for anything else, barely have a family life. But they make a boatload of money. And they can support the movement with that money. And part of supporting that is helping others. That's what I encourage everybody to do. Give back to charity, however you see fit. Do it in the right way to the right people at the right time, the way God wants you to do it. Do it. If your passion is the children, like mine has been, I own 9 safe houses. Give back. Put the money out. Do it. Marcel, sweetheart, how many places did you and I have to stay while you were running from those that were after you? Just guess. I probably can't even be accurate because there were so many.
I don't know, a lot.
How long did it take?
2 years.
Night and day, just about. Right? Who paid for that? Yeah. I love her. She's like my daughter. We have a bond that will never, ever end. She's so smart. I'm so proud of her. She used to not even be able to talk to people. It took me a long time to get her in front of a group to tell her story. I'm very proud of her. You mentioned double authenticate your birth certificate. Why? Because that's how you claim the title. Double authenticate it, go record it, claim the title, put in a claim, put it in an affidavit of truth and facts. Claim your vessel. That's the first step in claiming your trust. In fact, if you go into court, like some American state nationals just recently did, Bobby and I had to kind of yell at him. He didn't get his minor state. He wanted to, did all the time, spent all the money, did most things right, but he didn't do what we told him to do completely. And he went trying to claim his minor state, and they said no. I've never really had anybody say no before, no judge. But he screwed up on multiple things. He just thought he could shortcut it, not do things right. And one of the things he shortcutted on is double authenticating his birth certificate and getting it recorded. It hurts me when my people do that. Listen to what we say carefully. Spend the time to learn. I understand it's going to take time. You're not going to learn in a 3-day weekend, or 2 or 3 or 4 of them. You're not going to learn it by watching every video I got out there. You're going to have to learn and study and research and learn some more and talk to others who have done it. Heck, I was the guinea pig. What's the deal with silver? Over 20 in silver. It's in the Constitution. $20. Read the Constitution. What constitutes things on land, air, and water? Oh my gosh. Where you been? Who asked that question? LAW. The land is common law. Common law of mankind is property, equity, and rights. It all boils down to who holds superior title and who stands firmly on their superior rights. That's what it boils down to. The heir is ecclesiastical or canon law, which is trust law. All things held in trust. To be a fiduciary is the highest form of law for the benefit of another. It's that easy. The water is admiralty or commerce, which is contract. All things are either held in title, held in trust, or held in contract. Ta-da! With that little bit of a statement that I just did about LAW, you know more about law than almost every attorney out there. Because they don't even know the basics of law. They don't know the origins. They don't know where it came from. And by the way, I give all the credit to God for this. I was standing in a courtroom, watching the courtroom go badly for somebody I liked. And the judge was running over the top, violating every right he had, making him look like a fool, calling him a dang sovereign citizen, and all kinds of things. And this was quite a few years ago. Probably, I'm going to guess more than 20. And God put words into my mouth that David Straight didn't even know or say. He didn't know what to say. I wouldn't have known to say this. I said, hold on there a minute, Your Honor. And I put my hand up like a school crossing guard stopping traffic. And I did it with strength and authority. And a hush fell over the room. And I said, let me ask you, what is the law? Where did its origins come from? How did we arrive at this thing called law where a small group of men could put something down on paper and hold my friend accountable? And this is exactly what happened in the courtroom. A big hush fell over the court. And nothing. You could have heard a pin drop. And nothing for a bit of time. And then the judge gave me a lame answer. And when he gave me a lame answer, I said, I object, Your Honor. See, my understanding of the law comes from the Bible. It comes from Genesis. I said, God's the executor. He created all things. He gave us men, commanded us to take dominion over the land, the air, and the water, and everything therein, and subdue it. This is law. The land is common law of mankind, is property, equity, and rights. The air is ecclesiastical or canon law, is trust law, and the water is admiralty or contract law. So everything is either held in a contract, held in trust, or held in title. While you stand firmly on your rights. Am I right or wrong? And this is exactly what happened in the courtroom. A hush fell over the crowd. There was a lot of people in that courtroom that day. And it got really quiet. And the judge says, That is the best explanation of the law I've ever heard. You are right. I didn't even know to say those words at that time. Every one of those words I just repeated, I've repeated 10,000 times since then. And they are the exact words that came out of my mouth at that time. And God put them there. He just went, I had it download. It was that simple. And I've been teaching it ever since. And I've confirmed that it was right. And I've had others confirm it to me, up to the highest levels of government. And they confirm it. That makes me humble. God did that. At the right time, at the right place, for the right reason, with somebody he knew would do something with it. The land patent book says land patents are upheld 50% of the time. Half of the attempts fail. They're primarily successful in western rural areas. Okay? Everything we do is only 50% of the time because we can't control the receiver. You could be the perfect quarterback. You could be the best state national possible. Know everything there is to know. Do your job to perfection. You could throw that football down to the other end of the field in a perfect spiral at exactly the right place at the right moment in time. Right, land it right between all the guys trying to block it, right into the receiver's hands. And you did the perfect job. But you don't know which way the receiver's going to run. You don't know if he's a darn freshman and this is his first game. You don't know what he knows. And this is why sometimes we fail. It doesn't mean we aren't right. We're 100% right. We can prove it. We can prove it with land patents. And I'll tell you why it fails for Ron 50% of the time was mainly the tax stuff. The people don't know how to stand on it after the fact. It's not that they didn't do it right. They don't know how to stand on it. They don't know how to convince a judge. Every judge is different. They all have their own opine, their own opinion. You have to educate that judge perfectly. When you do, and you educate him perfectly in the law, he goes, okay, I'll uphold it. It's great. Done. If you can do that, you're 100% successful. This whole thing is about educating the receiver. It always is. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. All kinds of state nationals go out there and do what you're supposed to do when I fail. I'm sorry. Try again. Get up off the damn floor. Just because the tackle hit you, knocked you down, go play the next play. Don't give up. There's 8 million ways to skin a cat. Keep trying. I'll tell you a story from last week. A guy did our trust, he did the God trust, everything. He did his PMA, he walked in his bank to get bank accounts. And he walked in and he talked to somebody, and he walked out without a bank account. And he failed. I said, go back in tomorrow. He goes back in tomorrow, he talks to somebody different. He failed. He walked out without a bank account. I said, go back in tomorrow. Talk to somebody else. He goes back in to talk to somebody else. He walks out with bank accounts. In the meantime, I instruct him on how to change his pitch. What to say a little bit differently. Because I asked him, I said, what did you say? Maybe you should have said this. Go try it again. No, that didn't work. Okay, go say it this way. You're going to fail. We're humans. We screw up. Don't blame the guy that taught you. Just keep learning. Keep trying. Don't give up. And don't lose the game. I'm telling you, if I'm in a fight or in a battle, it's because my body's dead if I lose. If I lose a battle, I'm dead. Because no matter how many times they knock me down, I'm getting back up. I'm going to continue to fight. I don't quit. I ain't never going to quit. It's not my nature. My DNA doesn't have that gene. Doesn't have that quitter's gene. I wasn't raised in a family of timid men.